For 300,000 years, love was not a feeling, it was a survival strategy. You look at the person you love and believe you chose them freely. You believe in affinity, personal choice, or even destiny. Evolutionary biology has some terrible news for you. You are merely the surviving result of a cold mathematical equation calculated meticulously over 300,000 years. If your modern brain were suddenly transported to the African savanna 40,000 years ago, would you survive the ancestral mating process? Or would your genetic lineage go extinct with you? Today, we outsource instinct. We hide our biology behind dating apps, romantic dinners, and expensive perfumes. We have created the illusion of individual romance. But for 99% of human history, mating had absolutely nothing to do with your emotional comfort. It was our most critical defense technology. Evolutionary psychology is clear on a point that pop culture tries to hide. Love, as you understand it, was not designed by nature to make you happy. Burning passion is, in fact, a neurochemical hijacking, a dopamine and oxytocin trick that your brain uses against you. Why? Because human babies are the most useless and demanding creatures in the animal kingdom. A newborn foal runs within hours. A human child takes a decade just to avoid dying by accident. Love was the only biological lock evolution could find to force two brute primates to not abandon one another while carrying a helpless baby across plains infested with predators. Think about the last time you suffered a public embarrassment or had a disastrous date. What did you do? You walked away. You silenced your phone. You used ghosting. Anonymity is the greatest luxury of modern society. But for your ancestors, anonymity was impossible. Before agriculture was invented, we were nomads, and your entire social universe consisted of a band of 30 to 50 people. You walked together, shared the hunt, and slept around the same fire. Privacy was a non-existent concept. Every flirtation, every rejection, every mistake, and every jealous outburst happened in the public square, under the watchful eye of the entire tribe. If you were humiliated, you couldn't simply move to another city or delete the app. You had to wake up the next morning and look the very same people in the eye. In this open-air social prison, attraction worked in a way very different from what you might imagine. There were no material goods to mask who you were. No one owned anything. You were judged exclusively by your behavior under extreme pressure. Did you share the meat after a hunt? Did you defend the tribe against a predator? Were you patient with the clamor of the young? Our ability to react to chaos was what set us apart from the rest. Human mating was never an individual romance. For tens of thousands of years, it was a rigorous public survival audit. Your partner wasn't just evaluating your beauty, they were evaluating whether you were a risk or an asset to the band. This is why your brain finds humor so attractive to this day, and it has nothing to do with being fun. Anthropologists who lived with the Juhuansi in the brutal Kalahari Desert documented a revealing ancestral practice. When the best hunter brings back the largest prey, the tribe does not applaud him. They make fun of him. They mock him, say the kill is useless, and ridicule him. But why humiliate the one who brings the food? Because arrogance on the savanna creates tyrants, and tyrants destroy cooperation. Humor was a social guillotine. If you couldn't laugh at yourself under pressure, you were classified as a collective threat. Evolutionary psychology calls humor a fitness indicator. A joke requires complex cognitive speed, empathy, and rapid environmental reading. A diseased, stressed, or narcissistic brain cannot make a tribe relax. In prehistory, laughter was not just entertainment, it was an advanced technology of social intelligence. Making the group laugh while the world outside tried to kill you was the definitive biological proof of your self-control, the guarantee that your nervous system didn't freeze under tension. Humor was your certificate of sanity. In that environment, cooperation was not just a moral virtue, it was your only insurance policy against exile. And exile meant only one thing: certain death. Forget happily ever after. To evolution, romance is a contract with a strict purpose, not a fairy tale. Scientists once assumed the past was dominated by violent cavemen competing for women. The reality, discovered by anthropologists, is far more pragmatic. Today, it is known that in many hunter-gatherer societies, women had total freedom of rejection. If a partner became a burden to survival, the union was dissolved. Divorce was not a moral failure. It was a reallocation of resources. No courts, no modern drama. Ancient relationships were flexible, as humans are designed for bonding, but not necessarily for eternal bonding. But two primates are not enough. To dominate the planet, our species invented nature's greatest cheat code: outsourcing. Humans have been classified as the primates who need a village, and this created one of biology's greatest anomalies: menopause. In the animal kingdom, living for decades after losing reproductive capacity is extremely rare. Evolutionary biologists call this the grandmother hypothesis. Biology shuts down female reproduction on purpose. Why? Because an older, experienced female stops focusing on having her own vulnerable babies and becomes a machine for protection and the transfer of knowledge to her grandchildren. We did not conquer the earth because we were the strongest. We conquered it because we shared the burden of survival. Your grandmother is, quite literally, the reason our species did not go extinct. Imagine the night 40,000 years ago. Absolute darkness was a death sentence, until we mastered fire. Around those flames, with fear contained by the shadows, we gained extra hours. There, laughter, stories, and music became our first social network. Trust was forged in the sparks. Bonds were tightened in the heat of the flames. Today, the predators are gone. The fire has turned into a glass screen that you hold in your hand. Tribes have become concrete megacities where you can go weeks without speaking to your neighbor. But your brain doesn't know that. It still runs the same ancestral software. Your neediness is not weakness. Your jealousy is not insecurity. Your desire to belong is not a defect. It is your hunter-gatherer biology demanding the safety of a tribe that modernity has destroyed. You are not looking for a soulmate. You are searching for an ally to press on in a world full of dangers. If you seek answers not found in traditional history books, subscribe. The Evolution of Ancestral Life in 2 weekly videos.